Well, skin cancer is the most common type of cancer in the country, but it is highly preventable, and if caught early, it's highly treatable. Maja Mcilravy has been through the journey of treatment as a stage 2 melanoma survivor. She joins us with Dr. Nicole Kounalakis with Northside Melanoma and Sarcoma Specialist. Maja, and you said I could call you Dr. K, yes. So I'm going to call you Dr. K. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm so glad you could both be here because this is a really important topic. And I do want to start with you, Maja, and sort of your journey to this point. I mean, how did this all get started for you?
Well, it is, thank you first of all for having me and Dr. K. It has been a journey. At 18, I was an avid sunbed user, and back then that's what we did, and
right.
That's how it was. So in my 20s I stopped. After our first child, Ella, I got tested because I just felt like an urge inside of me because I had not done that ever, and
right.
I was always in the sun. And after being tested 5 or 6 years, they took off all kinds of things, but the 5th or 6th year, they found a mole on my back with a halo, and they said that it's usually non-cancerous, so they left it. And it just grew and got worse and worse. And after that whole summer, I went back and I said, may we please remove this? And they did. And sure enough, it was stage 2 melanoma, actively growing. And it's when we feel inside of ourselves that something's not right, that's where I say, go get checked.
Right, that diligence and that persistence, it really paid off there. So what's it like to actually get that diagnosis? Did you understand at that moment how serious melanoma could be?
I did. And my husband was out of town, and I remember calling him, and I was really scared.
Yeah.
I was really scared. I thought, she said it was actively growing, and I get emotional talking about it. And I don't know what that means. And I say, well, is it in my organs? Is it where? How far has it gone? And we did check the organs, and everything was fine. They did the lymph node test, and everything was fine. So they did remove a big part of my back, and now, as you see, I have a scar. But it's a story, it's a story to share and let people learn from it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Dr. K, from a doctor standpoint, because I do know we have some photographs of the scars and what you sort of went through in your treatment, but from a doctor's perspective, what does treatment for melanoma look like?
So what Maja had, basically what she had received was a wide excision with the appropriate centimeter margins around it, and then they also test her lymph nodes to see if it has spread. About 15% of the time, when you meet criteria for the lymph node procedure, we will find tiny specks of disease in your lymph nodes. If we find that disease, then they can be offered treatment. And right now, that's systemic therapy like immunotherapy, targeted agents. So few people are dying of melanoma each year in the U.S. than ever before.
Right.
It's a very exciting time given the new treatments available.
Right. And that's the thing, though, is that there seems to be a lot of education over the years about this, but it's still happening anyway. And when it comes down to it, this is highly treatable if it's caught early. So what is required to catch it early?
Well, I think, being alert to the moles on your body, having a good provider team, clinician team. We say that you should probably be triggered to see a dermatologist if you have a changing mole or nevus on your skin, if you're greater than 65 and have had a blistering sunburn, or if you have a family member with a history of melanoma. Like, those are the real high-risk features, but anybody should feel empowered, like you did, if there's something that's changing in their body, to have it evaluated.
Absolutely. And it's obvious that it's very important to you to share your story. What is it that you really want people to know?
I just really want people to stay active in sunscreen, covering up. I always thought, this is not going to happen to me. We all are a victim of thinking that it's not going to happen. And just be vigilant. And I have 2 children who I'm constantly, they see what I've gone through, and they say, I don't want to do that, I don't want to go through that. So, and it's also a preventative of just looking beautiful later, it helps you with wrinkles, and we all want to look young, right? So just stay out of the sun and just take care of your skin.
Yeah, and really quickly, just kind of the basics here. I know you got a few items here, just the things that everybody needs to be reminded of. It seems so simple, but prevention is the best course of action. Right?
So
I
think the FDA in 2019 reached a new guideline consensus. The labeling is very confusing on sunscreens. Look for SPF 15 to 60 is the appropriate. You want to see broad span protection, UVA and B protection. Other things is do not combine insect and sunscreen repellent. That is not effective. And if you're looking for water resistance, you should make note of the amount of time that the water resistant is on the bottom.
Okay, so that you're reapplying as necessary.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the appropriate clothing. I mean, you get to look fabulous too, right?
Many tools, hats, especially for our men with losing
Thinning
their
hair,
Whenever you're
perhaps,
out playing golf in Georgia, whenever you're out in the sun, cover your head, please.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. You are evidence right here.
Yes.
Thank you both so much for
Thank you
coming
so
in to
much
talk
for
with us.
having us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And for more information, you can go to our website, fox5atlanta.com. That's where you'll find some more information about skin cancer and sun safety.